Most people don't just blow their engine in one single moment. They kill it slowly, quietly, with tiny habits that they don't even realize are a problem. Today, I'm going to show you 5 beginner car mistakes that slowly destroy your engine over time, and more importantly, what to do instead so you don't end up handing your mechanic thousands of dollars for something that was completely preventable. Hi, I'm Nicole Elise from Know How TV. I'm the neighbor girl with a real toolbox, real tools, and real driveway fixes. My mission here is to help you fire the mechanic, or at least walk into the shop knowing when someone's blowing smoke up your ass. If you've ever skipped an oil change because it feels fine at the time, or that ignored temperature gauge keeps creeping up, or you told yourself that you just top off the oil later, then this video's for you. Those little habits feel harmless in the moment, but they're actually destroying your engine. And if you stack them up over time, they blow your head gasket, turn into spun bearings and engines that, well, need to be replaced. Here's how it's gonna work. I'm gonna walk you through 5 beginner specific mistakes that I see people do all the time. I'm gonna explain to you why they're bad for your engine, and then I'm gonna give you a simple no stress checklist that you can follow. That way you're never gonna have to Google how to replace your engine at 2 in the morning ever again. So if you're brand new here and you want real world driveway advice and tips without keeping secrets, then hit subscribe. It goes a long way. These are the type of videos that can literally save you thousands of dollars. All right, let's get started with the first one, the big engine killer. Mistake number 1, skipping the oil changes. All right, mistake number 1 is the classic engine killer, skipping oil changes because my car still feels fine, right? Well, here's the truth. Engines don't go from healthy to dead overnight. Oil breaks down slowly. Every cold start, every heat cycle, every mile you drive, that oil gets thinner, dirtier, and worse at protecting your engine. So when oil gets pushed way past its interval, it turns into thick, nasty sludge, and sludge doesn't flow. So it squeezes into the tiny passages that oil is supposed to protect, your bearings, your camshaft timing components, and all of it starts running with less lubrication than it needs. From the driver's seat, the car starts, it moves, and you tell yourself, no big deal, I'll change it next month. Well, inside the engine, you're quietly grinding expensive metal components together. And by the time you finally notice something like a new noise, a knock, or oil pressure low, the damage is already done. That's when you hear, yeah, you're gonna need a new engine. But here's what I want you to do instead. Number 1, find your oil change interval in your owner's manual or online. It's usually something like every 5,000 to 7,500 miles or in a certain amount of months. That doesn't mean that you can drive it for 5 months and it goes to 20,000 miles. It's whichever number comes first. Number 2, if you do a lot of short trips, stop and go driving, or live somewhere really hot or cold, stick to the shorter interval. Number 3, set a reminder on your phone. Don't trust your brain. Your future engine will thank you. Another pro tip is if you're at work working on a computer all day, like I am, put a reminder on your laptop calendar and you'll get a notification through your email. If you don't know how to change your oil yet, don't worry. I got a step-by-step video coming up later that walks you through all of that without making you feel stupid. Mistake number 2 is using the wrong oil. Mistake number 2 is using the wrong oil because it was on sale. That's what my buddy uses in his truck or whatever. Your engine was designed for a very specific oil weight, something like 0W20, 5W30, 10W40. That's not a suggestion. It tells you exactly how thick or thin the oil is at different temperatures. And your engine's internal clearances are built around that. If you run oil that's too thick, especially in the winter, it doesn't flow fast enough on startup, and those few seconds are crucial. That's when most of the wear actually happens. If you run oil that's too thin in a hot or high mileage engine, you may not have enough oil pressure once everything warms up, so that can starve components and speed up wear. So here's the rule. The oil weight printed on your oil cap or in your owner's manual is the oil that you use. If it says 5W20, then your engine wants 5W20, not 20W50 because it was cheaper. You can't do that. And if you can't find it on the cap, grab the manual or do a quick search with your car's make or model. That extra 30 seconds can be the difference between an engine that runs for 250,000 miles or is done at 100,000 miles and ready for the junkyard. Mistake number 3 is ignoring overheating. Ignoring overheating and just driving it anyway. That temperature gauge is not a decoration. Overheating can warp cylinder heads. Now, this has happened to me 1,000 times. Blown head gaskets, and they cook your oil. Once that happens, coolant and oil mix, compression stops, and you're looking at some of the most expensive repairs there are. So if you're driving and your temperature gauge starts creeping up, here's what you do. Remember this. Turn your heater on full blast, even if it's summer out. It helps pull heat out of the engine. And then safely pull over as soon as you can, shut it down, and don't keep driving just to make it home. Let the engine cool completely before you do anything. Hot coolant can burn you badly, and it wrecks your engine. From there, you can check the coolant level, look for leaks, make sure the radiator fans are working. And the big takeaway is this: those extra 10 minutes of driving can turn a cheap fix like a hose or something like that that's leaking into an engine swap. And trust me, $6,000 later, you're gonna be kicking yourself in the ass, wishing you would have pulled over and just waited. Okay, mistake number 4, driving with low oil. Mistake number 4 is driving around with low oil because you're too busy to top it off. Well, running oil on low is like trying to run a marathon dehydrated. The oil pump can only pump what's actually in the pan, so once the level drops too low, oil pressure drops, and parts at the top of the engine stop getting what they need. So that's when you hear ticking, tapping, deep knocking, and that's metal on metal. That's danger territory for spinning and bearing or seizing the engine. The fix is easy and it's cheap. Check your oil on a regular basis. Once a month is perfect, and always before a long trip, of course. Park on level ground, shut the engine off, wait a couple minutes, pull the dipstick, wipe it, put it back in, pull it out again, and check the level between the low and the full mark, or that hashtag that you see on the dipstick. So if it's low, top it off with the correct oil, and if it's way low, don't keep driving it. That might mean that you have a pretty hefty leak. 60 seconds with your dipstick can save you thousands of dollars. Make it a habit and not a panic move when the light comes on instead. That's gonna hurt you. Mistake number 5, ignoring the air filter. This is one that almost nobody thinks about. Driving forever on a dirty air filter. Your engine is an air pump. It needs to breathe. The air filter keeps dirt and sand out, but over time it fills up with dust, debris, and bugs. When it's clogged, your engine cannot pull in enough air. Your power drops, your fuel economy suffers, spark plugs get bad, and sensors get stressed out. The good news, this one's super easy and it's cheap. Pop open the air filter box, pull out the air filter, look at it. If it looks gray, black, or like a dirty pillow, replace it immediately. Clean air filter looks light, like a white color, and you can usually see light through the pleats. Like I said, they're cheap, and most of them can be swapped in literally minutes with 0 tools. There's a couple of them out there, of course, that might need a Phillips screwdriver, but if you're a smart car owner, you're gonna have a Phillips screwdriver in your car, in the back, in a toolbox somewhere that you keep there all the time. Okay, so quick recap on how not to murder your engine. Number 1, just stop skipping oil changes because it feels fine. By the time it feels bad, it's too late. Your engine's done. It's cooked. Number 2, use the oil that your engine actually wants. The cap says it for a reason. Number 3, never ignore overheating. Pull over, shut it down, and don't forget my little tip about turning your fan on high and your heat on high while you're pulling over. It helps cool down the engine. Number 4, don't drive around low on oil. Low oil equals low pressure, and that's metal grinding on metal. That's a recipe for disaster. And number 5, check your air filter. If it looks like it belongs in a vacuum cleaner, your engine is basically breathing through a sock. If this video helped you, be sure to hit like so that YouTube can push it out to other people that are about to destroy their engine. And if you want to put money in your pocket and fire your mechanic, be sure to hit subscribe. Now, if you're ready to actually do something about this, click on this video right up here where I can show you how to do an oil change step by step right in your driveway, even if you've never touched a wrench before. I'm Nicole Elise with Know How TV. Thanks for watching.